Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 3 is officially out. Boruto shook the whole earth with his Rasengan uzuhiko, and Himawari is on the cover page for the first time ever. And Boruto found the 10 Tails location using the toads. Without any further delay, let's take a look at the whole chapter. At the start of the chapter Uzuhiko, Code speculates that Rasengan Uzuhiko is not the vanishing Rasengan, because it's a long-range surprise attack, but Boruto is walking towards Code. So, in order to stop Boruto, Code surrounds him with the claw marks and attacks Boruto by teleporting through the claw marks. Boruto dodges Code's claw and tries to attack Code, but Code grabs Boruto's hand. Again, Code tries to hit Boruto with the claw, but this time Boruto uses the sword to block it. With this, Code thinks he blocked Rasengan Uzuhiko successfully, and activates his karma. But Boruto says, I am already halfway to killing you. And the wind starts to rotate around Code's hand, and either Code's hand and body are blown away from Boruto, or Code jumps back. Code thinks it's not a big deal. Boruto gives Code the last warning, take me to the 10 Tails, or you can die here. Code screams, go ahead and try, and attacks Boruto. But Boruto is behind Code. Code turns back and again screams, quite moving around. But again, Boruto is behind Code. Code thinks this is not as simple as dodging nor its genjutsu or shadow clone. Then suddenly, Boruto appears in front of Code. Yes, Boruto is disappearing and reappearing, like his vanishing Rasengan. Next, we see Boruto looking down on Code, and then Boruto hits Code with his palm, similar to the gentle fist. Boruto says the name Rasengan Uzuhiko, and the wind surrounding Boruto's feet and whole body starts to flow towards his palm, attacking Code, which sends Code flying, creating chakra rotations between Boruto and behind Code. But Code is still able to stand on his feet. Ida is watching the fight and says this is a basic Rasengan. But Damon explains Boruto is the one making the ground tremble, or rather, the entire earth. This attack makes use of planetary spin. Even Ida couldn't comprehend the jutsu. On the next page, Code is watching Boruto through a small gap between the rotating chakra, and he says, what is all this spinning? And falls to the ground. Code asks Boruto, what did you do? Boruto says, think of it as a biting counterattack of this planet that you were trying to destroy. Boruto continues, a Rasengan that uses a planet's chakra, its rotation, that's what Uzuhiko is. The power rushing through your body will never dissipate. Just like how a planet will never stop spinning. Boruto continues walking towards Code. Again, Code tries to stand up, but he sees chakra rotations and an upside-down Boruto. Boruto continues his explanation that the damage will continue semi-permanently, because you'll die before the planet stops spinning. Code again falls to the ground, holding his stomach. Boruto sits in front of Code like a boss and tells him, however, I can stop Uzuhiko, so rather than waiting for death quietly, give me the 10 Tails location. It's a choice that even a fool can make. Before Code could say anything, Kawaki's sneak attacks on Boruto, but Boruto dodges it. Inoshikacho and Himawari appear following Kawaki. Himawari calls Boruto, and Boruto's expression changes looking at Himawari. This is the first time Himawari has called Boruto by name. She always calls him Big Bro or Boruto Big Bro. Shikadai asks Boruto, what are you doing here in Konoha, and what were you discussing with Code? Just like how Shikamaru asked Sasuke back in the 4th Great Ninja War. Boruto replied, I am making a deal with Code, don't interfere. Code tries to escape, but Kawaki shrinks the claw marks. Shikamaru asks Kawaki about the situation. Kawaki replies that he can kill Code. Without wasting any time, Shikamaru asks Kawaki to finish him. Boruto asks Kawaki to move away from Code, but Kawaki refuses and replies that if you are here, then you must be prepared to die. Suddenly, a claw grime appears from the claw mark on Code's head. Kawaki kills it, but Code escapes via the mark on the claw grime's back. Shikamaru asks them to finish off the remaining claw grimes, considering the situation. But Kawaki wants to talk with Boruto. We shift to Sarada, who is analyzing the shinobi, who became a tree. She speculates that claw grime devouring beings, and turning them into trees is instinctual, similar to 10 Tails that turn into divine tree. And another random shinobi asks if this is a defective divine tree. Which is interesting because Code, who has defective karma, has his claw grimes also turn into defective divine trees. Coming back to the chapter, Sarada confirmed that shinobi, who turned into a tree, is still alive. Which makes my theory even more plausible, which I discussed in my previous video. Timeskip Boruto can see the future. That Code will be turned into a tree by his own claw grimes. Go check out the full video. Coming back, Boruto and Kawaki interact with each other after the time skip. Kawaki asks Boruto what those clothes are, and did you become an adopted child of the Uchiha? Boruto replies, your smack talk hasn't changed, but I am glad to see Himawari is looking well. Kawaki tells Boruto, if you're here to die at home, I can help you with that. Boruto replies, that doesn't sound bad, but not today. This definitely foreshadows Boruto dying in Konoha. Next, Boruto asks Kawaki to move out of his way, but Kawaki replies, "You're the one who's in anyone's way." Then we see movement under Boruto's cloak. It's a toad on Boruto's shoulder under the cloak, who is informing him about Code's base. Like how Naruto had Lady Katsuya hiding under his cloak, informing him about Pain's abilities. Boruto is talking to the toad, who is visually linked to the toad, which Boruto snuck up on Code's back. We know someone who uses toads like this. It's none other than Jiraiya's clone, Kashin Koji. Is he finally coming back? Maybe he is with Boruto and trained Boruto to use Toad Sage mode, or at least use toads for scouting. Next, we see Code still holding his stomach, and Bug has already turned into a tree. The 10 tails look shrunken and weak, covered in claw marks and rods. Like the 10 tails husk, just the blind folds are replaced with claw marks. The toad confirms to Boruto that the 10 tails is there. Boruto replies good and makes a hand sign. Maybe he is reverse summoning himself to Code's base. With this cliffhanger, the chapter ends. Overall, the chapter was well balanced between action and dialogue. Paneling was really good by Ikemoto-sensei, probably the best we have seen since the start of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Comment below with your thoughts on the chapter. We will meet in the next one. Peace.